I have a question from the Bible, sister. In Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 16, "Do not be overly righteous, nor be overly wise. Why should you destroy yourself? If you would be so kind as to explain it to me. Thank you."
All right. Verse 15 states, "I have seen everything in my days of vanity. There is a just man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs life in his wickedness." So the opposite happens. The righteous man perishes because of his righteousness. What can we say about the Lord Jesus Christ? The Lord Jesus Christ perished for being righteous. On the other hand, the wicked, the evil one, is there enjoying doing evil deeds. No, his punishment hasn't come yet, but it will. So what it's saying is that people shouldn't be overconfident. People shouldn't be overconfident, saying, "Oh no, I'm righteous, I'm perfect, I'm upright, I don't sin, so nothing bad is going to happen to me." On the other hand, that person over there, he is a sinner and he is evil. I believe that bad things are going to happen to him very soon, unpleasant things. And it turns out that the opposite happens. When that happens, people get discouraged, people get disheartened, people are astonished. Why did that happen? I didn't expect that. I expected the wicked to be punished and the good to live well. No. Therefore, God teaches us that in life, in the material life we lead, many things can happen. The wicked can live many years and can have a lot of money and live well. And the righteous, those who please God, may live just barely with what they need and lack many things or have a very short life. Perhaps that happens because that is what God teaches, that it's not so much the material things in life that matter so much. Everlasting life, our spiritual life, is the most important thing. That's one side of it. On the other hand, it says that after seeing the righteous man perish, despite his righteousness, while the wicked man, through his wickedness, prolongs his days, one should not be overly righteous nor overly wise. In other words, a person must be moderate, fair, balanced, and not extreme in their actions or in matters of life. So he becomes overly righteous, and because of that, he starts judging others, pointing out their faults and refusing to forgive them. As a result, people begin to dislike him and even look for ways to harm him, thinking he's too strict, too extreme. They no longer see him as righteous, but as harsh or inhumane. They ask, how can he not put himself in someone else's shoes? Why doesn't he show compassion? Why isn't he more flexible? So that's what it teaches. In life, we must be flexible and not be too exaggerated, nor too lenient or tolerant, right? Not too strict either. But there should be flexibility and fairness in our behavior toward others, so that everyone is well, so that there's harmony. People are happy and everything goes well. So don't go to the extreme, but be measured and moderate. Meet in the middle. That's what it teaches, right? The practice of the things of life, whatever it is, work, positions, governments, well, everything. It's giving a general lesson. And he was there, watching what people were doing. So many times a person, for being too strict and upright to perfection, is then led to death. Because, for example, they accuse him of something, and then he, for telling the truth, faces death. Then suddenly someone tells him, no, don't say that. Say that you don't know anything or pretend to be clueless. So he pretends to be clueless, and then he isn't accused. But because he was so strict, he accused himself instead of pretending to be clueless to defend his life. And by accusing himself, they lead him to death or to jail, right? These are the things that happen in life. Do everything wisely, everything with wisdom, so that we don't harm anyone. Do things in moderation so that everyone is happy and there are no mistakes or failures in the lives of others, not in me, not in others, not in those involved, but so that people, well, all people can receive a lesson, an experience, a blessing, or a punishment, and that everything is fair. So what it's teaching is do things in moderation, be wise.